In this video, we're going to discuss raising your center of gravity. This is going to essentially allow you to jump off of higher ground. Now, I know that may sound weird, but once I explain it, you'll get a clear picture and understand how this is going to add inches to your vertical jump. So RJ is going to demonstrate. The whole point of this is to raise your center of gravity, and we do that the most with our shoulders, our arms, and our head. So when RJ approaches for his 2-foot takeoff, he's coming, he plants, he explodes up vertical towards the rim. He really uses that ball as momentum and uses his arms as momentum, but as he's at the top, he's going to shrug his shoulders and keep his head high, okay? This right here raises his center of gravity, okay? So if his center of gravity normally was around, let's say for demonstration purposes, the center of gravity is right around his hips, when in reality it's right around your belly button. Let's say it's at his hips. When he raises those arms up, shrugs his shoulders, keeps his head high, that raises his center of gravity several inches, okay? What that does, when you take off from higher ground with a higher center of gravity, those inches that you add or that you take off from, that's what I mean by taking off from higher ground. So let's say RJ raised his center of gravity that far. Those are the inches that he's going to be able to add to his max vertical jump. So if RJ was able to touch the rim at this height, when he raises that center of gravity using his shoulders, using his arms, and keeping his head high, he's going to be able to jump that much higher, okay? Now this is obviously going to depend, but it can add several inches to your vertical jump simply by jumping off of higher ground, okay? So once again, we're using our arms with RJ is going to dunk with 2 hands, so he's violently extending his arms, throwing his arms up into the air, shrugging his shoulders, and keeping his head tall, okay? That is going to raise his center of gravity, allow RJ to jump off of higher ground. When it comes to the 1-foot vertical jump, it's very similar, but now we have a knee drive from the off foot. So Aaron is going to demonstrate coming in and taking off from his left foot. He's going to use his right leg as knee drive. So he's driving that right leg. So instead of only using his shoulders, his arms, and keeping his head high, now we have this knee drive, which also raises Aaron's center of gravity, okay? So in the 1-foot vertical jump, it's important that you use a violent knee drive to raise that center of gravity. This is going to allow Aaron to jump off of higher ground and add inches to his vertical jump. Now the important point with that knee drive, Aaron, bring that up one more time, is that a lot of coaches, either the athlete has weak knee drive, so they finish with their knee at about this position, which is weak knee drive, or they overemphasize that knee drive and it's too high. When you bring that knee too high, it doesn't have the same effect, okay? You want to be able to violently drive that knee up and break it right around parallel to the ground. So Aaron's quad here is about parallel to the ground. So he violently drives it and then stops that knee all of a sudden. But all that momentum from his knee drive carries him through and raises that center of gravity, okay? But Aaron is also going to use his shoulders, his arms, and keep his head high, okay? Even though he's jumping off of one leg. So when it comes to the 1-foot takeoff, you use your shoulders, you use your arms, and you use your head, and you use that knee drive to raise that center of gravity, allowing you to jump off of higher ground and allowing you to add inches to your vertical jump. So let's take a look at both the 2-foot and the 1-foot takeoff and raising that center of gravity. In order to work on raising your center of gravity during your takeoff, you need to be able to first extend your arms, use your shoulders, your arms, and keep your head tall, but also an exercise to help you with that, Aaron's going to demonstrate scapula holds. So You don't need a ball for this, but what we're going to do is arms above your head, and exactly, hands like that. And I'm gonna turn Aaron around so that we can see him from the back. Basically, Aaron's going to squeeze with his traps up, and then relax, and squeeze up, and relax, okay? So he's squeezing with his traps here to get those shoulders up, and he's also opening up his lats, okay? This right here, doing this is not only going to increase your upper body mobility, but it's going to force you into that motion of really raising your center of gravity as you go to take off to dunk. So Aaron's going to do this a set of 10. He's going to do 3 sets of 10, okay? So really forcing those shoulders up using those traps, okay? Right on the sides of the neck there. That is going to allow that upper body to raise that center of gravity so that he can jump from higher ground when he takes off.